can we ever truly stop it? He's crazy like Jack Bauer. His name is Forrest Power. Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, YouTube. So, with the unveiling of Activision's ace in the hole, Ricochet, you would have thought that the heralded tropical world of Caldera was pretty much safe from cheaters in comparison to the dirty back streets of Verdansk. The problem is that although Ricochet has done a pretty good job of eliminating quite a lot of cheaters, and the fact that Activision has been on the ball by issuing cease and desist orders to companies like Engine Owning that are one of the major cheat providers in the world, the conundrum remains. And that's largely down to the fact that human beings are very creative when it comes to being deceitful. YouTuber Rara dropped the ever so inquisitive video earlier on in the week about potential players using a program called DS4 Windows in a way in which they could manipulate their controller to ensure that their guns had no recoil. Zero, nada, not even holding down the trigger button. Now this would essentially reduce your favourite first person shooter game to nothing more than a point and click adventure in the mould of The Secret of Monkey Island featuring Guybrush Threepwood. However, a quick trawl through Reddit as part of my research for this video brought about some quite shocking conclusions. I realised that quite a lot of people have known about the capability of DS4 Windows for the better part of a year now, and that means that there could have been people operating in Call of Duty games near you where they have had zero recoil on their gun and been doing this for a very long time. Now, it's widely accepted that a plethora of high-profile streamers do use DS4 Windows in order to reduce input lag on their controllers. Some very high-profile names such as Aiden and Mutex have spoken openly about their use of DS4 Windows. So that raises suspicions and raises the question of whether or not they've also known about how to manipulate this particular program so that they have got zero recoil. I think that the problem is that we live in such a competitive world. You log on to Twitch and look at some of these $25,000 Warzone tournaments, or the fact that there's so much money floating around between YouTube and Twitch in the online gaming world, and you've got to ask yourself, would some of these people cheat in order to get some cash, and some easy cash at that, for themselves? And I think that we're all probably going to come to the conclusion of yes, someone would do that. It's just a question of who. So here is the dilemma that we face. How many high-profile streamers are prepared to use a no-recoil gun in order to establish themselves in the online gaming world? I've used this comparison before, but it's akin to bodybuilders taking steroids to get themselves to that next level. You are never going to win the Mr. Olympia competition without taking some kind of illegal substance, and that's become a bit of a given in bodybuilding, and you've got to question whether or not someone could elevate themselves to a level above a cheater through natural means. The sad thing really about human beings is that someone is always prepared to go that extra and sometimes illegal mile to make sure that they end up coming out on top of the situation. Online gaming is no different in this regard. I just find it really perplexing though, because I don't think that recoil on a game like Warzone is that particularly hard to manage. It's certainly sufferable at worst. If you look at some of the more higher profile competitive Call of Duty League players, people like Scump that have played for 10-15 years competitively, and you look at the way in which they engage with Warzone, they do not track people perfectly every time, despite undoubtedly having some of the highest talent in terms of online gaming prowess that we've ever seen. So that does make me think about those streamers that I watch day in, day out, that seem to lock onto an enemy and have no recoil on their guns consistently. Are they doing that naturally, or are they getting a little bit of artificial help? I've waded through the comment sections of some of these high profile streamers, and I've watched videos from some of the conspiracy theorists of the Call of Duty world, shall we say, like Bad Boy Beeman. And I think it's undoubtedly a truth to say that there is a lot of fanboyism when it comes to streamers and how potentially good they can be at Call of Duty. Essentially, when you think about it, streamers are the celebrities of the new world, a world chosen by young people. And for that reason, there's a lot of fanboyism attached to streamers and online gaming personalities. And I think that that breeds a lack of clarity in a lot of cases. Some people just cannot accept the notion that their beloved streamer, someone that they've raised onto the shoulders as a bit of a demigod, actually might be getting some artificial help. It will destroy their image in their head permanently, and a lot of people cannot live with that. And you know what? I would love to think that the online gaming world is a place of peace and prosperity and happiness, and there's unicorns dancing around and we're all in this kind of make-believe fantasy, but it's not. It's just an extension of the real world. And in the real world, there are a lot of rats, a lot of liars, and a lot of con men. I actually think after watching the Tinder Swindler on Netflix last week, we could end up with a scenario where in like a decade, some of these streamers, after their revenue avenues have kind of evaporated over time, actually come clean and discuss how they used to cheat or manipulate the system and actually make like a Netflix special off the back of it. That could happen in the future. Anyway guys, what are your thoughts on this? I've spoke about how I feel about the situation, and I don't want you to think that I'm some kind of tin-foiled skeptic that thinks that every streamer out there is actually cheating. That is far from the case, but I do think that a lot of streamers have come up with some questionable plays, and we should be right to ask questions and product things. That's what this life is all about. So please feel free to drop me a comment in the comment section below detailing your thoughts. Maybe you think some streamers are more likely to cheat than others. I'd like to know what you think about this situation. As always, if you have made it this far into this zany video, feel free to drop a like and subscribe for all future content with notifications on so that you do not miss another video. Ladies and gentlemen, it's been my honor and privilege to lead you through this video today on this epic journey into the dirty world of cheaters on Call of Duty. As always, thank you very much for watching this video. I'm Forrest Power, and this has been Emotional.